Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we'll be reviewing the new Cadillac CT5. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Jerry Signer Cadillac here in Salt Lake for giving me some time with the CT5. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide as well. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 237 horsepower and then 258 pound-feet of torque, with fuel economy being 21 around town and then 30 on the highway. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, taking a look at the hood, you guys can see how it's raised there in the center. Really sharp body lines, by the way. Same thing with the side. And we've got the new headlight design. I dig it. It's futuristic looking, and it's still distinctly Cadillac. Look at that little animation. They always do fun things with the animations. And then a really cool look with the grille. Notice it's all blacked out, Cadillac emblem and all of that. And putting it all together, fresh face, looks good. Now on the side here, our tire wheel setup is 245 by 40 by 19 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see here with the wheels, you got the silver trim. And I like how the fender pops out a little bit. You got the Cadillac emblem there on the side. And if we take a few steps back, you can see everything's all blacked out, the window trim, the door handles and all that. Now taking a look at the key fob here, we've got our lock and unlock function. We've got a remote start. Got the opening for the trunk, Cadillac logo there on the back, and pop it open. Now taking a look at the cargo area here in the back, you can see there's quite a bit of space overall. Again, the CT5 is not a huge sedan, but it's a bigger size sedan. Got this little handle to throw the trunk, whoops, throw the trunk down. You can see the Cadillac badge. They're still using the 350T script for a 4-cylinder, just putting it out there. Anyways, really cool taillight design. The new taillights, again, they look sharp, if you ask me. And then, yeah, that's the rest of the rear. And then this leads us inside. So you can see you've got nice soft touch trim here at the top. I like the carbon fiber trim down below. And then more of the stitching and all of that all over, looks fantastic. And then here are the seats themselves. Again, really nice trim all over. And then popping in, got a little storage pocket here. We got some vents here with the USB port and all of that. And then we do have a sunroof here for the rear passenger, which is pretty cool. The roof line does come down a bit, so headroom, it's not bad, but it's tighter. And then this leads us up front. So you guys can see here, again with all the soft touch trim, we've got blind spot warning with the mirrors. And then again with all the stitching and all that, the carbon fiber trim across. All of our window controls, front, or all of them are actually automatic, which is nice. The mirrors are also power fold in. Here's a front seat. And then you can see the power adjustments there on the side. And you got nice trim here on the dash as well. And then the pedals get kind of like a fancy finish. Now you can see this comes with Super Cruise. That's the little section there at the top for that. But anyways, yeah, nice trim all over the steering wheel. Paddle shifters there in the back. Bunch of practical controls in the front, including voice command, volume controls, all of that. And then traditional stocks here on the back. And then this leads us to the gauge cluster setup. There is a lot happening here. So you can scroll through and see different bits of information on stuff like with the radio, for example. And since it's fully digital, it's pretty customizable. And it also has like the Escalade thing where it has this little touchscreen here on the side where you can change what the gauge cluster shows like fully. So that's kind of interesting. And then you also have the heads-up display controls there. Yeah, that's right there. And this also comes with a 360 camera system, good resolution with it, so it helps out with the visibility overall. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, quick response time. And yeah, it's interesting, like, just think about this for a second. I think this is cool. We have a system where this is a touchscreen, this is obviously not a touchscreen, but then this is also a touchscreen, all in one unit. I don't know, I think that's kind of like, obviously lots of tech happening, but yeah, it's kind of cool how they managed to do that. Anyways, soft touch down below, same thing on the dash. You can see the little carbon fiber trim across. Dual zone climate controls here. You've got heated and ventilated seats, which we're going to turn that up because it's kind of toasty. Wireless phone charging pad. We've got our shifter here. Also drive mode select and all that. It's kind of hard to see in front. Got some cup holders there. And then you can see here with the analog controls for the infotainment system. Tons of storage. I like this trim here on the top. It's nice. Camera rear view mirror. And then we've got another sunroof up front. Here's a quick look at the window sticker. You can see 2025 CT5 Sport, and yeah, quite a bit of standard equipment with this. Base MSRP, there's your total MSRP, $56,835. Let's see how it performs. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both the mirrors. See about the rest of the rear, and let us set off in the CT5 2.0 turbo. I forgot, gotta go down here. 2-liter turbo in a car this big, interesting choice. But obviously this is just the entry-level engine, and I'm glad we're starting entry-level for the new CT5. As always, you know, as the other models roll in, then I'll have reviews on those as well, V6 and all of that. But yeah, still interesting setup here. What I'll say right off the bat is the suspension is super smooth. Wow, it's really good. Yeah, it's doing the 4-cylinder thing. It's not slow, but it's peaky. So one thing I don't like about turbo 4-cylinders is they, you know, small displacement engines, so they got to get wound up a bit to get up and running, right? So definitely has that peaky feel, whereas I'm sure the V6, at least in my past experience, isn't going to be that way, right? It's got a bigger shove right off the bat. Ah, the train of doom. Sorry, I had to change my driving route a little bit. We've got a train going through, and how it works is whenever there's a train going through there, it's going to be going through there for a long time. But yeah, this is comfortable. The suspension, the damping's great. It's quite impressive. Quite impressive indeed. So to sum things up, with the CT5 with the 2.0 turbo, like I said, not my preferred engine, but the rest of the car, it's really good. This is a solid luxury offering, and it seems like it handles pretty darn well. It seems like it does a good job with everything. It's a very good luxury car. Very good luxury car. Yeah, so I think I mean, so far, at least my initial impressions is it's solid. I'm still not sure about this new screen stuff. Every single manufacturer's doing this now. I kind of hope it's a fad, personally, because I like traditional gauges. I mean, my concern is, like, okay, for example, we've got a Toyota Land Cruiser that has a gauge cluster and an infotainment system. Okay, well, if the gauge cluster breaks, I have to replace the gauge cluster. If the infotainment system breaks, I have to replace the infotainment system. But I guess with this, if any of it breaks, you probably have to replace the whole unit. So, like, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. But like, that's something I've been thinking about. You can't just replace, you know, you can't just like cut that off. Oops. You can't just like cut that off and go, okay, we're just gonna do new. I mean, yeah, this is all one unit. At least, yeah, it feels like it. So, and I don't know how much this costs. This is a lot of screen. What is it, $15,000, $20,000 for the screen? Who knows? So, let me know your thoughts on the CT5, but I think great luxury car, and Cadillac is charging forward into the future, and I think Cadillac's going to do well because they're one of the few manufacturers that still focuses on build quality. I mean, seriously, the build quality in this is good. Build quality and luxury.